Hi everyone, I'm Ashley Alred, educator at Cary Institute of Ecosystem Studies, and today I'm going to show you a really simple way to get to know the animals in your yard. Now, by animals in your yard, I'm not talking about the bigger things like squirrels or rabbits. I'm talking about the things that live on the ground, under the grass you walk on. If you've already participated in some of our activities for EcoQuest, like creating an observation station or a study square, you may have already started to ask some really great science questions about the animals in your yard. To begin answering some of your questions, I have an EcoQuest challenge for you. You're going to create a coverboard. Now, a coverboard is something that we can put in our yard that will attract the tiny things that we don't see normally to provide them a shelter to go under. Now, all you need to do this are two things. You need some sort of board. It could be a piece of plywood. I found this in the shed behind my house. Or you could use something like the lid to a storage container, like a plastic lid. And the second material you'll need is something heavy, like a rock or a brick. Get creative with your materials. You can really find a variety of things that will work really well. Once you have your board and your heavy object, the next step is to find a spot in your yard for your coverboard. Now, you want to find a spot that is either out of the way of the lawnmower or get permission to put it in a space where there's grass that doesn't necessarily have to be mowed. I've chosen a place that is kind of on the edge of the yard and these bushes back here. All you do is you put down your board and your object on top. And that heavy object is simply to keep it in place in case there's a storm, there are high winds, because you'll want to keep this board here for at least a week to give time for organisms to find the shelter that you've created. Now, it can be tough to leave something for an entire week and not be tempted to peek up underneath and see what's there, but trust me, it's worth the wait. In the meantime, I want you to write down some predictions. What do you think you're going to find underneath your coverboard after 1 week? What kind of organisms? What do you think you'll find? And in that week, you could even create an observation station or a study square near your coverboard to help you ask those questions. So after your week has gone by, now is the time that you can check under your coverboard to see what kind of organisms are hiding underneath. Now, there is a safe way to do this. Whenever you're looking under your coverboard, you always want to lift it up and away from you. And that's to let organisms escape away from you instead of running straight at you, or maybe there's a beetle underneath that flies up. You just want to be able to lift it and let other things go aside. Then you can push it all the way back. And now is your chance to really observe, what do you see underneath your coverboard? This is a really simple research method that ecologists all over the world use to study how many different organisms live in an ecosystem. They call that species richness. And so what you're doing right now is you are studying the species richness in your yard outside your home. Now that I've found my spot for my coverboard in my yard, I'm going to leave this for 1 whole week. At the end of that week, I'm going to come and check it, and I'll be able to share the things that I discover under my coverboard with you. And I would love for you to do the same. You can either email me pictures and descriptions, or you can send me a message on Instagram. And I can't wait to see what you discover.